Hi, Consolee.
Hello, Listra.
Well, welcome to another episode again today.
Thank you so much. Welcome to the topic for today. It's a brand new week. We're feeling grateful for being here. So in today's topic, we're going to explore much more in for teenagers and mental health, how mental health can affect um, a teen, a child who is still growing. And before I can go ahead, Elisa, do you have anything to say about a teenager and their growth?
Okay, so we'd like to establish who a teenager is. And usually a teenager is from age 13 to 18 legally. Although some people might behave like teenagers outside those ages, but those are the legal ages, 13 to 18. So these are what we'll focus on.
Okay. So the interesting part of this teen age is that age where someone who has been a child now is starting to grow, starting to realize different things in life, starting um, having different mind of how they feel and how they see the world. And this is really a time where someone just stepped out from childhood and now starting experiencing adulthood, I could say. And this is the curiosity age where the a child want to know like mostly everything around them. They want to explore more and understand the world around them.
Mhm.
And so we're going to be talking about some of the impact this can cause between, especially between parent and someone who is becoming a teen. Lisa, do you want to say anything about that?
Okay. Well, even though I was a teenager some years ago, well over some years ago, but I still remember some things that I went through. And I'm sure that teenagers in our current years are going through even more because at that time we didn't have internet and all these things to influence us. But in this day and age, we have the internet to influence our teenagers. So that makes it a little bit more complicated for them.
Yeah, definitely. And it becomes more complicated because the parent still want to be the parent. The parent still want to guide them. The parent still want to be there for them and show them what is best for them so that they don't run into trouble. And this is where now it becomes a very a complicated issue because this person want to grow and be independent, make their own choices of friendship, of music, or anything they want to do in life. And so when the parent sometimes, probably if the child is making certain decision of what they want to do and the parent are not agreeing to that, that can cause a really bad mental health on that child. So how
Yeah.
can we make sure that our children, we support them in this sense? Because it's not like we have not lived that life. We lived that life. We know how it's like. So how can we really be supportive to youngers who are growing, making sure that the choice they are making is a good choice. We are there for them as a parent or auntie or uncle. How can we make this really be a smooth transition?
Right. Well, I remember that, okay, parents do not change according to the stage of a child, although you should. But sometimes the children grow up so quick that you left behind. So therefore, you still think that you have a baby and you're going through the baby zone. Whereas the teenager might feel, oh, I'm big, I'm a big person. I can make my decision, I can choose my own friends. But you as a parent, you just see that your son or daughter and they're still a child, still need your hand to hold. And you don't want them making the mistakes that you can clearly see lie ahead because they have not gone through those experiences yet. They cannot see the red flags. But you as a parent, you sometimes could see the red flags and you can see the heading for danger. But if you try to stop them, then they sort of put, I'm not sure what, they sort of put you in a state that can't you can't talk to them. They will go to their rooms, lock their doors.
Yeah, I think that's when it start, the problem starts because the parent is still thinking this is my baby. I still do the same thing. I have a teenager in the house and I still see him like as a baby. But I think if a parent can, if all of us we can just see that we are raising leaders. We are raising important kids who may become anything in this world. I think that could change on how we communicate with our children. Because I feel like I know that you have, your child is just now grown up, but is still your child and you still want to communicate with your child the like 7, 8 years ago when your child was about 4 or 5. I think that is where the problem really lies. I think what we can try to work on is in our communication and now start building a really positive relationship. There is nothing wrong to correct your child, directing them in a way that you feel like they will be safe, but also remember, all of us, we are here for a reason. All of us, we are here for a purpose. So if you can allow your child explore that purpose, why he's here on this world, and trying to nurture that purpose, because I've heard that some of the culture, when they have probably, let's say, a boy, they will want that boy to become a doctor. And here you go, you've got a teen and he's telling you, I don't want to become a doctor. I want to become a police officer. And now you can see the difference between a doctor
Yes.
and the police officer. And that's why the parent now start putting and pushing with their power and showing, no, you must become who I want you to become.
Yes.
You forget that the child also have their own purpose. They have their own intuition. They have got their own feelings now. They're trying to work out those feelings. I think if we can be much more supportive and open to conversation and explore more different possibilities in life, and even if your child want to become what they want to become, just show some encouragement, because as you already know, your dreams keep changing over time. As an adult, you've know that already what you started with, that's not where you are up at the moment. So
Yes.
you just need to keep that nurturing relationship and communication open around your child.
Yes, absolutely. Because what we have to remember is that they are their own persons. Yes, they might be in a small body still, but they are heading for their own disconnection with you. They're heading for their own lives. One day they will be living on their own. They will need to make their own decisions, and you wouldn't be around possibly. So you need to get them to that state where they can make their independent decisions. Sure, you can do your best to help them to make those decisions, but you can't make it for them because they have to live their lives that they choose. I on that note, I remember some years ago, I was visiting a friend of mine, and her daughter wanted to be an electrician. Do you know what she was encouraging her daughter to do? Care work. Because care work, she was telling her daughter care work in the UK is more available. And I was like, well, let her make her own decision. But she was adamant. And do you know what her daughter turned out to be? A care worker. And that's how influential the parents are when they're forceful.
Yeah, I would just beg to any parent who may be listening to this, honestly, you have your own mind, and up to now, you have your own mind of making decision of what you want to do. Allow your child to start making this decision early. Just be there as the guidance. You guide your child, you protect your child, but let your child just explore what they wish to do. Because
Yes.
your purpose, it's not your child's purpose. And
Exactly.
sometimes some of us, we end up doing things that were being told as a parent, like our parents have told us to do. And then when we get to that older age, you just start regretting. You realize you've wasted your time. Just let that child be. Just have that open relationship, open communication, be there, because the other thing is that's when the child starts becoming very rebellion, and even sometimes they won't be open to you to tell you anything. They won't feel like you are the best friend, because there is that limitation of you forcing them to do something, or for you emphasizing they should do this when they feel like they shouldn't do. So this is a time where we should just let our children be and just guide them with love, good communication. Let them make a mistake, because you
Yes.
yourself made a mistake, and then you come back to your own sense. So allow your children to make that mistake as you did, because this is the first stage of exploring and having that feel of how to be independent and making a choice under the parent guidance. It is very beneficial, because they feel like they are still guided and you can still be there for them.
Yes. And if they make a mistake, be there to prop them up. Don't sink them into the grave further and say, I told you so. Because even though you told them so, remember they have their own minds to make up. And just be grateful they haven't died in the process, and just hold their hands and support them to the next stage. Irrespective of how many mistakes they've made, remember you made mistakes as well. So just think about yourself, and think about all the teenagers, whoever else coming up in the future will continue to make these mistakes, because we haven't been born with a manual of how to be human. We didn't get that manual.
Exactly. Yeah,
So it's about trial and error.
that's true. And they also become stronger by making those mistakes, and then come back to you and they tell you, I've done this now, this is all happened. So they are actually learning, making those mistakes, and you are there for them to still show them love and care and supportive. And that is how they will start becoming much more stronger in making their own decision.
Yeah. And emotionally resilient as well.
Exactly.
Because then they wouldn't have to go out and tell their friends or other people about putting themselves at risk. They can come to somebody they trust, with a parent, and speak to you, and therefore get the support that's needed. to be able to go on to the next stage. So
Yeah.
we hope that this teaches us as parents to be able to support our children, support their mental health, because remember they are going through hormonal problems as well at that time, 13 to 18. That's the most period where they go through the hormonal changes, and hormones actually affect the mental state as well. So do not add the extra stress on them.
I agree. Yeah.
Support them to be buoyant. And we hope that everybody will be a better parent, whether you have children or not. Remember, you are parent of the universe. And
Yeah.
you have to be a role model to all the children.
Yeah, not only for your own children, but with also your neighbors' children. Just continue to be a good role models to any children you meet out there. I'm so excited about this topic because there is so much to cover and so much we need to talk about on the coming week. So if you really this is something you would love to join in, please just join the conversation and make any comment below for how you feel and any opinion you have. It would be so helpful.
And remember to subscribe to this channel, press the notification bell to get more videos if you're interested in mental health especially, and being protective of your own mental health, your children's mental health. You probably have a teenager who's a bit fussy and you need to understand them better. So join us our conversation and get involved and subscribe.
Thank you
And
so much for watching.
thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much for watching. We'll see you on our next video. Thank you.